Welcome into another episode of Outside Shots. We're back after a long hiatus, a little 2-week vacation, if you will. Well, at least I was on vacation. EJ was still working, doing his other things. And sorry for the delay, but stop me if you've heard this before. EJ had technical issues.
Listen, I was here. Look, I've been connected since you text me and with your forgetful self telling me after I didn't set up golf for tomorrow, telling me, oh, I forgot I gotta drive my kid to Tucson. Now, who in the heck can't remember that they're gonna drive their kid back to school?
First of all, read your text. I never said I was gonna drive them to Tucson, because in fact, I'm not driving them to Tucson. I said I have to drive down to Tucson to help my daughter move into her dorm. So I didn't forget to take anybody.
Hold up for a second.
Be there in the first place.
I gotta turn my lights down on this.
Oh boy. Anyway, we have a pretty fun show for you guys today. Listen, we're in the middle of the off season. There's not much to talk about. We kind of scoured the internet to see, who's saying anything about the Suns, and there just wasn't very much out there. But there were a couple things that kind of came up, and one of them was actually an article by Bright Side of the Sun, and I believe it was Dark Voida, who wrote about the fan experience inside the arena, mainly the speaker system, and he kind of went on a tangent about how much he dislikes it. That's one example of what we'll call sports icks, if you will, that we'd like to see go away completely, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, obviously, it's been a couple weeks since we've been on this show, and EJ, what have you been up to?
Nothing. Playing a lot of golf. That's it. Enjoying my time. Signed my contract with the Suns. So I think entering my 26th year, I don't even remember. It's been so many damn years. But yeah, I think 26. This will be my 26th season.
Okay.
And so
is it a year-to-year contract, 2 years?
Well, yeah, it's a year-to-year, but I think they want to add a few more on it when the year's over. Unless I do something crazy during the course of the year and they boot me. But I'm fine with the year-to-year thing. I'm fine because I just don't know. Like I was getting to that point in my life where I need to get away from the water boys and couch potatoes. I just need to take a hiatus away from everybody. It's getting to that point. I've been in this game for 40 years, basically. Think about that. Over 40 years, matter of fact. If you want to do the math, 44 years. I've been associated with the NBA. And it comes to a point where, I've done very well, obviously. I'm not as well as Devin Booker, but I've done well. And when I mean not as well as Devin Booker, I mean not even an eighth. Okay.
I mean, I wonder if you, let's just say any given season, really, do you make, this is going to be such a bad, we could probably look this up. Maybe we can get Damon behind the scenes, who's our producer for today. Shout out to Damon. Maybe we can get him to look it up. I wonder if your salary for an entire season during your maybe first 5 to 8 years, any particular year, would even equate to a full for one game of Devin Booker's.
No, not even close. Not even close. My first year in the NBA, and it's on Basketball Reference, so I don't have to be secretive about it.
Yeah.
My first year in the NBA, I made $65,000. My first year.
Like total?
Yes, that was my salary. I had a shoe contract with Pony at the time.
Who?
Oh yeah, Pony was some nice shoes, man. They were some nice shoes, dude. I'm telling you, nice. I had no issue with them at all. They were very secure. Unlike these shoes today, aren't secure. They just look good, but it's not good for these dudes' feet at all. It's not. And the shoe companies can get mad at me all they want. They're going for style more than safety. I wore Chuck Taylors back in the day, them canvas shoes, man. I never sprained my ankle in them damn shoes. So, yeah, I was actually getting 30 from Pony. So think about that. I'm making only 65.
Look at these shoes. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so yeah, so I mean, I didn't make any money until probably, and it was good money then, based on the time when I signed a free agent deal with Cleveland after my 4th or 5th year in the league, and I got $650, which put me in the upper echelon up there with small forwards in the league. And but no, I mean, in my entire NBA career, I made a little bit over 13 million. That's it. Okay, in my entire career. So Devin makes that in 2 days.
Wow.
And I'm not hating on guys right now for doing it. The only thing I ask of these guys is they just remember the past. And you know what? A few years ago, they remembered the past. And what they did was they pretty much set up our insurance plan for be 100% for the rest of our lives. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So that was their way of remembering the past and understanding that they're going to be a part of that bubble when they retire.
Yeah.
Why not move money ahead so you know when you retire that you'll be in the same boat? But I just want guys today just to remember how difficult it was and all the hard work and all the collective bargaining and all the fight that the players went through back in the day to put these guys in position to be making, as Devin is, $70 million a year.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I ask. I don't want anything from them. You gotta give me nothing. I'm good. No, I just want you to remember why you're sitting in the seat that you're sitting in. If they do that, then I'm fine with it. And when they don't do it and they try to belittle the past, that's when I become the internet police. And I start ripping them. And I start going at them. And we're going to talk about one situation coming up here with Austin Rivers. Like, I don't want to hear it because I'm going to protect the past, whether you like it or not. And I don't care who you are. You can be a Suns player. I'm going to call you out on it. So just be careful of that. And I think we all should respect the history, not in any walk of life. Respect the history in our country. Don't try to eliminate stuff. Deal with what has happened in our country and try to make it better. That's the way I look at it. And when people try to change or don't respect it, that's when me, the history major that I am, I had to read 50 damn books a semester, if you major in history, comes to action. And so for me, that's all I ask for.
Well, I know the pension that NBA players get, it ranges depending on your years of service. So, I think that's, I don't know if that's increased or gotten better over the course of the years. Maybe it hasn't. I'm looking at your face.
It has. No, it's gotten better, but our pension is really, I think you got to play 3.5 years in the league to be eligible.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts off at 10.
Yeah.
So I played 17 years. And so the extra 7 years that I played, I didn't get rewarded for it.
Yeah, you didn't get anything.
So yeah, so it's it's still, and they can't change it, so you can only add addendums to it and stuff like that. And they did that a number of years ago, which was very good. But for the most part, I think the pension and it's better now for these players. They got 401ks that's attached to it and all that. So it's a lot better for these guys. But again, remember why you've gotten to that point. And it's because of the hard work of players before you. And the Retired Players Association is very active in that and reminding them that they have to remember the past because they're going to be a part of the past here in a short time.
Yeah. I don't know if Damon, let me know if you've got that graphic that I just sent you or that image that I just sent you. It's an image of
my ponies.
Yeah, buddy. I just sent it to him in our Slack. Hopefully, he'll pull it up here in a second. But man, those things are classics. I mean,
Telling you, man.
half of your salary, 50% of what you were making in the NBA, you were getting
Yeah,
from a shoe
from
deal.
Pony.
And I do wonder how, when Magic and Bird, and then obviously Michael came into the league, and how that changed the game kind of for the shoe companies and really, let's be honest, like Michael had his launch of his shoe was on another level, and the money that was made off of that kind of changed the entire shoe game and really the endorsement game for a lot of athletes. Were you able to benefit off of that?
Not really. I mean, I never really had a huge deal. Matter of fact, I had the Pony for a couple of years, and then the deals went away for us average players. We just got merchandise, right? All the quote unquote superstars were getting all the money, and that kind of ticked us off. They were getting all the money, but then we still wearing your shoes. So that's why we just switched up. And I would wear different shoes. It didn't even bother me, but no, it never really like across the board for the player that wasn't the star of the team. And I don't know what players get today, but I am probably sure a lot of players that aren't highly thought of is getting a lot of merchandise, but I don't think they're getting a lot. They're not getting a bunch of money for it. No.
Well, that's where the dynamic has changed completely. You just think about you in high school, being the star that you were in high school. You might have got a shoe deal if the rules existed, and things were the way they were today back then. So if you were who you are now playing today's game, hell, you might get a shoe deal coming out of high school because you might be a top 10, top 15 ranked player. And you might sign something before you even step foot on a college campus. So that's where the dynamic has changed so significantly.
I agree. I worked for Adidas Nations for 7 years, training players. And when I retired, and so, I saw that. I was a part of that evaluation, so to speak, based on how, I, told the higher ups about certain players that I had. We would bring all the top high school players together 4 times a year in different locales around the country. And we basically train them for 3 or 4 days, and then we play games for about 3 or 4 days. And each one of our coaches would have their own team. And so a lot of the players that's in the NBA, I trained in high school. Before they even got to the NBA. So that's why I'm familiar with a lot of these guys that's playing today. And my all-time favorite, believe it or not, and look, and no disrespect to all the other guys that I had, but my all-time favorite is Kyle Anderson. Love that kid. When I had him in high school, because he's 6'8", and he'll tell you if he talks to you that I played him at point guard. And I think other people got ticked that I did that, but he became a point guard on my team. Mm-hmm. And I think, because the dude can flat out run an offense, he can keep you in tune and all of that. And so, every time we see each other, we hug each other because he's special to me. But I had a lot of guys that I trained and had experiences with Adidas Nation. So it was a very good experience for me. But a lot of those, and it's funny, probably 10 to 15% of those guys that Adidas brought in that were ranked in the top 100 or whatever, right? And everybody said they're going to go pro. Only about 10% made it to the league.
Yeah.
So, I had this one kid, I'm not going to call his name out. It's just because he didn't make it. I knew he wasn't. But he was ranked in the top 10. And he was on my team. He's from Vegas. And, so I realized right away that he wasn't that damn good. And so I was playing other kids above him, especially late in the game. And his parents were hot. He's ranked number 10. And I don't understand why he's not playing him. And they complaining to the higher ups coming to me like, man, you got to play this kid. He's ranked in the top 10. I said, your top 10? He ain't ranked in the top 100. If it was up to me, I said, he's not better than this kid. So this kid's out playing him, but I'm supposed to play him over this kid because he's ranked and his parents up there upset. I said, bump them. I don't care. And I didn't play him. I mean, I'd play him, but he wasn't playing huge minutes. And I told them, I said, you know what? Y'all on me right now. Y'all getting on my case. I guarantee that kid won't play a damn year in the NBA when he's done. So he went to school for a year and he left. He got drafted maybe in the second round and didn't sniff playing in the league. Like, so, you know, it's that kind of thing that goes on as well in that situation where they're ranking these kids. And a lot of times those kids don't pan out.
Yeah. Pull it up, Damon. Here's this beautiful shoe. In case you haven't seen it, look at that beautiful bad boy. Ponies from the 80s. Man,
back in the day, though, they look good, boy. Back in the day.
You talk about ankle support.
They're going right.
Those things go halfway up your
calf. You got the most ugliest pair, though. But, you know, I get what you're saying. But then, like, it was very secure.
EJ, I don't know if you know what kind of world we live in, but, you know, we need the clicks. So, obviously, the more egregious, the better.
They were very secure. And that's all I cared about. See, because, here's the thing with me.
You got the orthotic ones over here.
Let me get this straight for you. Here's the thing with me. I don't care what I put on, I'm gonna look good. You know why? Because one, I have one of the top 10 bodies in the league. So it didn't matter what I put on. It was all muscle. Why don't you pull up one of them pictures of looking at me?
Why would I do that?
I didn't care. Like, the shoes didn't make me. A lot of these dudes walking around with the shoes and all that, you know, once you start working up to the body or you start looking at the grill, the face, you know, I made it look good. Didn't matter. They wasn't looking at my shoes. They were looking at it. Damn.
All right. Okay. Stop. Just stop. All right. We gotta stop this nonsense. Oh my goodness. Anyway, EJ, you know, listen. Oh, we're having some technical difficulties. EJ's frozen. I mean, hey, listen, that's karma, right? That's karma. Like, you start going on and on about your body and what you look like when we're talking about a shoe. Like, listen, the internet gods know, and they're gonna be like, listen, we just got to put you in timeout. I do assume that is on his end, correct, Damon? Not on our end.
Correct.
All right, there we go. That's Damon Dog. Appreciate you. And so EJ, hopefully he'll come back at some point. I don't know what happened. It took him 5 minutes to get on the show to fix his technical inefficiencies. But, you know, hey, you know, that's EJ. So hopefully we'll get him back here shortly. He's having some technical issues. But listen, that's hilarious. And it's just kind of crazy how, you know, obviously the money works and how things have changed so dramatically in the last 40 years in sports, and how money has just absolutely influenced so many different things and escalated so many different things to such a degree. And, you know, obviously some of that we're going to talk about here in a little bit with the sports icks and what you will. I do want to take a moment while we wait for EJ to come back just to kind of mention first, EJ does have his Helping Hands for Single Mothers event coming up in, I do believe it's October. When he comes back, we'll confirm that. But in October, if you haven't had a chance to come out and do that, you should. It is a fantastic time. There's a poker tournament that, you know, you get to buy in. And last year, I participated in it, and I finished top 4. And I'm not a big Texas Hold'em kind of guy, but the cards were just flowing the right way this evening, and it was a fun time. Andre Roberts, former Cardinals player, played for the Redskins, the Bills. He was there. He and I actually finished in top 4 together. So it was just a fun time. There's a bunch of celebrities at the tables, you know, different athletes. I mean, everybody from Frank Sanders to Mark West, a bunch of other Suns legends. The rest in peace, Oliver Miller was there prior years. And Sean Marion was the the featured guest last year, and he was part of the roast that they had, which was really, really fun to see, and it was a good time. And so you should come out. Then the next day there's a golf tournament, and then the day after that there's a big dinner, a big gala where you get to see where your money that you've donated and also the things that you've purchased through the course of that 3-day event, where all that leads to. And it's to help mothers who are single go to college, get through college by providing them assistance financially, providing them assistance with daycare, things of that nature. So you should really, really take some time to do that and participate. It's really, really fun. And if you do, I'll see you out there, because it's always one of my favorite events to participate in every year. Also, your boy got hooked up with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I am now officially a big. I got matched up. I went through the whole process and got matched up with a little, and I actually get to meet them here in a few weeks for the first time, and very exciting process. It's a very thorough process. You go through a whole series of interviews. They do a background check. They do the whole 9 yards, and very fortunate to be able to meet this young man. His name is Michael. He's a 13-year-old kid from over here in Chandler. I can't wait to meet him, and just very excited about that opportunity. And I encourage you all, if you have any time in your schedule, it's not the biggest time commitment. We're talking about meeting with your little once or twice every week or two. And listen, a lot of these kids, they just need a positive male or female role model that maybe they don't currently have in their life. And I hope I am that for this individual, for this kid. And I encourage you to volunteer and go to bbbs.org/ALLCITY to become a big yourself. I'm telling you, the experience in seeing how Big Brothers Big Sisters has worked throughout the nation, going to their conference a couple months ago, it was just so inspiring, and I'm very honored to be able to be a part of it, be able to help contribute to the cause overall. And as we grow this partnership and continue to raise money on their behalf, it's just a really outstanding opportunity. So I encourage you all to please do that if you have the time. So while we wait for EJ to come back, one of the things that we were going to get into was this Austin Rivers comment about LeBron James not being really basically a sexy scorer. And Damon, you have that clip?
So LeBron's number one, but his game doesn't match a prototypical score. It's also not sexy. LeBron's game is built on.
That's why no one puts him right into that.
LeBron's game is built on force, sheer will, dedication, his mind, his IQ, the way he's able to dissect and control a game, power above anything else. He wills himself to the basket. Now, as he's gotten older, you got to give the guy credit. He's become a better and better and better jump shooter. It's crazy. He's going to retire probably being the best jump shooter he's ever been. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that. What you got to give credit to his work ethic. You don't do that by not getting in the lab. But his game has never been a sexy score. When you think of that, you think of the fadeaway. You think of the post up. You think of mid range for one. Being able to get to a spot on the floor and hit a game winner.
Bag
work. That's what people prototypically put. That's why James Harden, you think of him going to ISO, twin his legs 2 or 3 times. So it's a complicated thing to talk about, because are we talking about results or are we talking about the aesthetic?
All right. So I know EJ's gonna chime in here in a second. He is back. We're just trying to get him.
Man, my internet just went down. Man, what's up with this? I'm not going to call the company. I'm not going to even call them out. But they just.
It's all good. It's all good. So one of the things I do want to address about that is this is not changed in forever. This has been the same way since I started playing basketball, about people really glamorizing how somebody does something instead of can they get the job done. What's the ultimate goal? Scoring the basketball. That's it. In high school, for instance, right? Back in my day, and I'm sure yours, there wasn't every kid on a basketball team couldn't dunk. Nowadays, it feels like every high school kid can dunk. That's just what it is nowadays. And dunking was like, if you couldn't dunk, then you just, you were like another level below. And I just never really cared about it myself. Like it wasn't something that was a goal of mine to try and dunk all the time or try to do any of that. I was more of like, I was focused on 3-point shooting and passing and stuff like that. And I was more focused on being fundamentally sound than the crossover or the behind the back dribble. Like I didn't really care about that stuff. Would I work on it? Yes, because sometimes it's a means to an end because you need to do that kind of stuff in a game. But it was always situational. It was never to like to try and style the game up or anything like that. Now there are some people that are like that, and I will say to a certain degree, like passing wise, yeah, I always wanted to try and pass the ball like magic. Towards the end of my basketball playing days, I loved running pick and roll and try to be like Steve Nash. Like that was just one of the things I liked. Like I love the aesthetic of that. So I get what Austin Rivers is talking about aesthetically, right? Is it aesthetically pleasing? And to watch LeBron James play basketball is very subjective. Some people love it. Some people might not love it. But I will say this: is it effective? Yes. Is he the all-time leading scorer? Yes. Is that the main prognosis of a really main point of playing basketball? Yes. What are we talking about? I think you have to put LeBron James in a completely different category when you're talking about aesthetics, because his aesthetic was point blank, I'm going to score and there's nothing you can do about it. What else do I need to do? I don't need to do all this frivolous BS to try and get to the rack or score. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it and I'm going to be effective. That's why I'm one of the greats of all time.
When you come up with these bags and I put a tweet out there, obviously.
Oh, I'm going to pull it up.
Put my tweet up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, and so, look, I understand why people that don't play the game, they get caught up in the kind of like dessert part of the game, like the fanciness, because they don't play. And see, people hate when I say that, right? But they do. It's almost like if you want to be a lawyer, do you really want to sit there as they're going over all the little boring junk that they have to talk about in a trial? Or do you want the guy like, you can't handle the truth? You want the excitement of it, right? That's going to make it exciting. I get that part. So for the people that don't play, I understand it. Every time I would go talk in a camp, all the kids wanted me to just dunk. I get it. Because that is the prettiest part of what you're seeing, because you cannot do it. So you want to see it. I get that. So I have no problem with the water boys and the couches that want to talk about bags. No problem with you. I understand. It's hard for you to go deeper into it because you're not in it. Like, for instance, you look at me and you say, damn, he almost scored over 20,000 points combined career and playoffs. How did he do that? Because I wasn't that guy that had a quote unquote bag. I was that guy that was doing all his work to get open because you weren't watching me get open. Now you do. You kind of watch Steph because they've made note of how Steph moves without the ball. Well, Steph didn't invent that.
Nope.
Steph didn't invent that. Trust me. Go watch film of me. YouTube, you'll find it. Always moving.
Reggie,
Kiki Vanderway, moving. Ray Allen, all of us, we move without the ball. Steph grew up in that era. His dad, Dale Curry, played, and Steph watched him. And if you watch film of Dale, that's all Dale did. So it's not new. So do you watch that now? Because, Steph moves without the ball. Please, he picked it up from us. How do I know? He was at my practices in Charlotte when I was there, sitting there like a little kid just watching. And then doing practice, after practice, he's out there shooting with us. That's how he learned to do that. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is, you got to, and I tell these guys, man, as a professional, Austin Rivers, how dare you? How dare you, man? You grew up watching your dad play. How dare you go to that ticket of talking about a bag? Dude, that maybe that's what hurts you as a ball player. Okay? Like, I don't want to hear about no bag. Ball in hand, ball in freaking basket. And the most times the ball goes in the basket, the team wins. Yep. It doesn't matter how it goes in the basket. It doesn't matter if you do the Watusi before you shoot. It doesn't matter if you dribble 10 times before you shoot. Ultimately, you have to shoot. And you're wasting energy if you do it. And that's what I said in my tweet. Like, and I'm going back and forth with these people. Like, listen, the reason I played 18 years professionally is because that I didn't waste energy. And I wound up doing the same thing that James Harden does. I wound up doing the same thing that Kyrie does. Okay, the guys that you want to say got bags, the same thing. Okay, and the difference is, okay, when I got 43.5 1 year against the Clippers, the ball actually touched my hands, okay, less than 40 seconds. So let me tell you again, the ball actually was in my hands, and it's on YouTube. You can go watch it. Eddie Johnson, 43 in 6 minutes, because we condensed it to 6 minutes. You can go watch it, okay? The ball actually touched my hands less than 40 seconds, and at 43.5. But what did that do for me? I wasn't tired. I wasn't tired. It might have been boring to you, but I wasn't tired.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't want to hear nothing about he got a better bag. How can you, for the life of me, have the audacity to say LeBron doesn't have a bag and I put him below and he scored 50,000 points, you crazed animal?
So let me read your tweet real quick, okay? From yesterday, your tweet said, "What is a bag? Question mark. This man has over 50,000 career points, and Austin talking about a bag. 8th in three-pointers all time. LeBron James is a point guard deluxe, and Austin talking about a bag. 6,000 career points should be disqualified from discussing and rating scores." Now, what I love about you, EJ, is that you had somebody that replied to you, and this was their tweet to you, trying to like get at you. So Damon, we can pull that up. And that first tweet said, "So what the WTF is the point of playing coy and making this post? Seriously, you all just want to be a part of a discussion you know full well you will not be unbiased about. You have preconceived notions you're ready to throw at whomever posts." And then obviously you're like, "Yeah, I know what a bag is, but thank you," to somebody else. Now, your response to this individual is probably one of my favorite responses of all time, because it was a little difficult to kind of read that. And this was your response. The English language is known to be the most difficult. And I laughed so hard yesterday when I saw that. And I just was like, listen, folks, I've been around EJ for, almost a decade now. And one of the things that you just have to be really careful about is if you're going to get into it, you better know what the hell you're talking about, and you better be ready. Otherwise, just go sit down.
Just go sit down.
Your time. And,
yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of it, and people were actually thinking that I didn't know what a bag was.
Been around the game for 40 years, 50 years. You don't know what a bag is. You don't know none of this verbiage we're using nowadays. Like it's something new. It's been around the game forever.
I mean, look, I had a bag in shooting. Head fake, pump fake. I mean, spin. That's my bag. I don't need this bag. Okay, and my teammates looking at me. Dribble, 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 dribble. Stop, man. Austin, please, man. Like, look, and Austin is really good at what he does. I really like Austin, so I have a lot of respect for him. But, dude, stop, man. Like, you cannot lose yourself and immerse yourself into the mindset of people that didn't really put their lives into this game. And they're looking at it in a different way. And it's all right. I understand. It's things that I look at differently and I would like to see more of because I'm bored with the main parts of it. That's life. I get it. Okay? But not you. Like, not you. You teach the game. It's kids out there that think that they should dribble, 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 and have 50 crossovers before they shoot. And they could have shot off the first crossover, but they keep crossing over because they're hearing the oohs and ahs in the stands. And then he jumps to shoot the ball, and it's a freaking brick. Like, the ultimate responsibility is to put the orange ball in the basket. And that's what LeBron has done. And you talking about you don't have a bag? I put out at least 3 or 4 videos, 6 minutes long, of this man spinning on people, dunking on people, shooting fadeaways off 1 foot, all of that. How can you score 50,000 points, get double teamed most of your career, and you claim that his bag isn't that great? And he's 6'9", playing point guard with little dudes guarding him. Stop, man. If I'm Doc Rivers, his dad, I'd call him up and say, son, shut up, please. Seriously.
So, it's just kind of throwing me back. So last week on vacation, we were on a cruise, and I was feeling froggy on the second or third day of the cruise, and I was like, you know what, I want to play basketball, because they had a court outside, and it was actually a really nice court. And I was just like, and I had my sons with me, and I hadn't been able to play with my boys for a while because I had, my knee was kind of jacked up, but I was feeling good that day. And so we played some pickup, and this kid crossed my son up. I mean, pretty bad. Mm-hmm. And Alex fell down, and everybody was, ooh. And then he shot the ball and he airballed it.
Thanks.
And I just sat there and I was just like, man, $1 million move, 2-cent finish.
You get credit. You get credit for this stuff now. And
you do. It's crazy.
The and one people couldn't stand me. And if you go back and look at past tweets from me and different things, I went at and one like no other. They hated me because I called them out. I was like, Skip to My Lou was the only guy. I forget his full name, but
Ray for Austin.
He made the league, but he changed his game.
Mm-hmm.
White Chocolate in Sacramento, Jason Williams came to the league with all that fancy stuff, but eventually changed his game. Like, a lot of them guys couldn't even play in the league because they were all flash before they shot it. And then when they shoot it, they shooting bricks.
Yeah, no substance.
The ultimate thing is to put the ball in the hoop, people.
Yeah.
It's no matter how you do it. Then he said, well, Kareem didn't have a bag. Why should Kareem have a bag when nobody can stop the most unstoppable shot in the history of the game?
Also,
why?
Also, again, like, are you serious with that? Because first, Hakeem. Did you say Kareem or Hakeem?
Kareem.
Yeah, the most unstoppable shot. I thought you said Hakeem. Never mind. Continue.
But I'm just saying, like, if anything, promote that stuff. Like, promote the fact if you're a poor free throw shooter, learn how to shoot it like Rick Barry. If everything is so easy, why doesn't a lot of guys try to shoot the ball underhanded like Rick Barry, who will go down as the greatest free throw shooter ever, and he shot it underhanded? No one can copy that. You can't copy it. No one. A few players have tried it. George Johnson, I believe, was doing it. One of the few players that didn't get embarrassed by doing it, and he did it. Right?
Could you imagine if somebody did that today? What people on the internet would say?
They'd rip him. Yeah. They'd rip him and say he's no good. But yet they'd rather look at a guy shoot a jumper like this. Okay, and shoot a freaking line drive brick. Like, it's not how you look when you play. All right. It's basically the result.
Yeah,
it's the result of how you play. And I never bought into that. And people say, "Oh, you could play in this era." Yeah, I could, but I'd be DeMar DeRozan. I wouldn't be Eddie. I'd be Devin Booker. Because mid-range and the ability to move without the ball and be productive was my whole mindset. And that's why I get on these stat nerds when they always want to bring this true percentage junk up. They don't understand what I'm saying. I don't want to be rewarded for failure. And if you're telling me my percentage looks better because I'm taking more difficult shots, and that's how you're going to compute that language, I don't want it. I just want the normal thing. If the ball goes in 10 times and I take 18 shots, I shot tremendously well. That's how I view it. And I'll always view it that way. It's production. It's not how you look. It's not what you're taking. If the damn shot's too difficult, why are you shooting it? Yeah. Like, that's my mentality, man. I just, it's summertime. We're not, that tweet, that conversation from Austin Rivers, it bothered me.
I could tell.
Because how does everybody like trying to justify, and all these Michael Jordan, LeBron stuff now on the internet is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
even Michael Jordan thinks it's ridiculous,
it's
and that's why he's going to come
ridiculous.
back and just kind of squash a lot of it.
It's ridiculous because how can you take away what a dude has done? And nobody ever thought a player would score a combined 50,000 points in the history of this game. No one thought that. Like, no one thought that. But people try to push it to the side. Longevity. Longevity? What does that have to do with anything? Just because you live longer don't mean you're productive. Look, I know some guys I went to college with. Man,
Facts.
Look, them dudes the same age as me. They look like they're 90 years old. Give me a break. Longevity got nothing to do with it. Go find me somebody with longevity in the NBA that scored at the rate that LeBron has. It hasn't happened. So longevity means nothing. It's just bag.
I got you.
Home runs. I mean, everybody want to hit home runs. Hit a home run. Yeah, how's that working for my Cubs right now? They were leading the league in home runs.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody was gushing about, we're leading the league in home runs. We were 6.5 games up on Milwaukee a month and a half ago. Guess what it is now? We're down 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Because all of a sudden them home runs wasn't going over the wall. And Milwaukee doing what? Hitting base hits.
Yep.
Moving people over with no-name players. And so we're going to see what happens this week. We play them 5 times. Play them 5 times this week.
So you mentioned analytics and I know there's a prevailing thought, not a prevailing thought, but I know there's a lot of people out there that feel like analytics has kind of ruined the game. And, there was like I said earlier, there was an article by Darth Vader on Bright Side of the Sun talking about the in-arena sound at the Suns arena and how it's really loud. And always constantly asking for people to stand up, cheer, and then they pipe in the crowd noise sometimes, and it's just all this stuff, right? Like, and I would agree with that to some degree. Like the authenticity of the crowd environment, it's trying to be manufactured, and it's not genuine, and it feels forced, right? But it got me to thinking, like, you know what? I wonder what some of these. What are people's general sports icks, like red flags, things that they absolutely detest, not only with the Suns and the NBA, but also just in general, right? Some of the things about the Suns are really like just in general, like, and one of them, unfortunately, was about the broadcast, right? And the broadcast was, I wish they would show more replays for key moments instead of taking so long and sometimes not even getting to the replay, right? On the broadcast. And there's been times where I've watched the Suns, and listen, I know everybody in that truck. They're fantastic people. They all work really, really hard. So you don't know situationally what's going on in the truck sometimes. But there's been times where I'm like, oh man, I swear that ball went off of that dude's foot. And we're not even going to look at it. We're just going to skip on by and go straight to the free throw or whatever. Like, just like, sometimes I would like to see that, right? So we're going to go through a list because our favorite people, the ones that are diehards, part of this community that we love, in our Discord, I said, hey, what are your sports icks? And EJ, if you have one at any point in time, please chime in. But we're going to go through some of these, and you tell me whether you agree or you don't. All right. So the first one was, and this is probably a big trigger of mine. People wearing jerseys to games that are not affiliated with the game. So the Suns are playing OKC, and some Yahoo's wearing a Lakers jersey, or somebody's wearing a Mavs jersey, or somebody's wearing a Knicks jersey. Like, bro, they're not playing in this game. Why are you wearing this? Like, go find something else to wear. Why do you have to rep your team in a stadium or an arena that does not exist for you? Stop. It's kind of ridiculous.
I can get that. I get that.
I mean, have you seen this before? You've seen this before, right?
I've seen it, but they don't like. They feel like, again, like, in all respect to everybody that comes to a game, But again, what you got to remember is I would say 20% of the people that come to a sporting event, they don't know nothing about the sport. They're just going. Why? It's a great environment. Right? They can go, they can drink, they can eat, they sit there. It's almost like when when my daughter was young and she used to be in some of these plays where they were singing all the time, and I'd go to sleep. And then when I heard her voice, I'd wake up. So that was like a running joke in the family. Like, okay, I tell my wife, hit me when our daughter's, doing her role and she's singing. Other than that, I'll be back there like this.
I can see that.
Okay. So, I mean, I think a lot of fans come to the game. They're really not fans. They're out there in the concierge. They're out there in the concourse. They're eating. They're running around. They happy to be there. They drinking. They're not in one section. I watch the Suns fans sometimes. Some people, they're not Suns fans, but they're up there and they have their back to the game and they're drinking. So they're just there to have fun. So they don't care. So they don't have the idea, the mindset that you have.
But typically, they're not the ones wearing those jerseys.
Some of them, a lot of them do.
Okay, all right. I haven't seen that so much, but here's another one. Calling Phoenix a small market. I'm sorry, it's not.
The fifth largest city in the country, and it goes back and forth with Houston. Now,
I think the thought is that because we're a potpourri of all, like so many people around the country that come here to Arizona to live, the fan base sizes are smaller than your normal major metropolitan cities, right?
Right.
You wouldn't see like the Bears haven't been like very good outside of maybe a couple years since '85 winning the Super Bowl, right? But my God, like the amount of Bears fans, not only in Chicago, but even here in the Valley is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So you don't see that same representation from Suns fans or Cardinals or D-backs in other states, as prevalent as some of those other markets. So I think that's why people think that Phoenix is a small market, but it's not. It's very much not.
It's not. It's a huge city, man. And it's and trust me, if it didn't, the one thing that saves us, like it's a number of cities I've lived in that saved that city from being overpopulated, right? Obviously, it's the heat here. People don't want to be here in the summertime. Good, because trust me, if it was, I just came up from the north, back from the north, up in Pine Top from this weekend. We're at 70 degrees every day up there. It's just beautiful, right?
Why are you rubbing that in, man?
I'm sorry, because I know you.
Let me tell these people. These people, listen. He just got on me at the beginning of the show because I bailed on golf tomorrow because I forgot that I had to take my daughter down. This man was like, "Hey, have a spot maybe for this weekend. We're gonna play 4 rounds if you want to go. I'll keep you posted." I was like, okay, yeah, let me know. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, man, this would be fun. I want to get out. I want to go up to north, nice, cool area.
I was in a nice cabin. I was in a nice cabin. You'd have had a great time. Yeah. But would have. Yeah, I know, but they told me they had a foursome, and they're not gonna like this. When I got up there, the fourth guy didn't show. I started to call you, but I'm like, I'm not going to call this man. Not the last.
I mean,
second.
Listen, if there was any weekend to call me, it was this weekend because I didn't do anything. It was actually
you should have kept getting on my case, and I would have said, come on up.
I should have.
I know. But look, we're going back up there. Don't worry about it for the end of the year. So, so Seattle, where I lived in Seattle, like it was a lot of people from California moving up to Seattle. And the people in Seattle didn't like that. But a lot of people aren't going to go up there and overpopulate it. Why? Because it rains all the damn time. When I tell you it rains, it rains. I mean, I thought about moving there and staying there when I was playing for the Sonics until it rained for 28 straight days. I said, there's no way on the face of this earth am I going to stay in this city. So it's things that keep people away. And just think about it. We become the 5th largest city, and yet people aren't afraid of the heat now. Like a lot of the people still stay here in the heat. So no, this is a big time city, man. And people need to get off of that small market stuff. It's just not. This is a bona fide big time city.
It is. It is. Here's another one, and this absolutely does drive me crazy. And this is kind of a twofold kind of thing. One, we just mentioned it, like all the arena prompts, right? Stand up, cheer, blah 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 blah. It's like it reminds me of the Kings of Comedy when Steve Harvey was complaining about going to a concert and there'll be like 30 dudes on the stage. They all have mics talking about stand up, cheer, yo yo yo. You know, when I say this, you say this, like, and he says, MFer, I paid. At the time, it was like $89.95 to watch you sing. I'm not trying to sing. You sing. I paid to watch you, not me. And that's kind of how I feel sometimes. Like,
really?
if I want to stand up and cheer, I will stand up and cheer when it's warranted. I don't need you to keep telling me to stand. This is not my exercise. Stop telling me to do all these things every 2 seconds. Defense, clap your hands. Defense, clap your hands. Stand up, cheer. Blah 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 blah. Dude, it doesn't stop. And then to throw in all the timeouts that happen in the arena and all the different games and all the ads and all. I understand it's a business. I understand we got to make money. I get that. But oh my gosh, we don't need a game at every timeout. Sometimes you just want to let the arena breathe a little bit. Give me a chance to decompress and just kind of collect my mind and look at my phone for a second. All these, like, man, I feel like I'm at work sometimes when I go to a game. It's a lot.
100% disagree with you.
Oh my gosh.
100%
Really?
I disagree. Here's why. Those very same people that show up to the game and they go to, if this is what you want, and they just sit back and they just do what they want to do and they just sit back and they relax, those very same people will walk out of that stadium. Oh, Eddie stunk. Oh, he didn't do nothing. Oh, they stink. They got all their little disappointing comments. Hold up for a second. They got all their disappointing comments, and then you got the guys that's gonna be ripping you on the internet. They're gonna go through all that, and they didn't even break a sweat. Like what fans don't understand is they do have an impact on the game.
Yeah, I get that.
And okay, so. It's a lot of arenas. Like, I'm going to tell you, in Seattle, when I played in Seattle, they didn't have to be encouraged. They were up. They were nonstop. Sacramento, they don't have to be encouraged. Up all the time. Ringing cowbells. I mean, just into it. It's some fan bases that's into it. You don't have to push them to be active. The thing I'll tell a fan, if you're going to come to a game and be opinionated, then get your behind up and help us win. Don't look. What I'm saying is, the people with the sounds, they sense that, and so if you're a fan base that's up all the time and you're in it, then they probably will cut back on some of the things that they do, and we see it. Like in Boston Garden, you go to Boston Garden, they're not playing a ton of music and stuff because them fans, historically, because they're an historical franchise, they understand it, they're into it. So I would encourage fans, if you have a problem with it, stay in the game and be influential in the game.
This
if
is where I would disagree.
You're going to be encouraged to do it. That's all it is.
This is where I would disagree with you. I think that there is an art and a craftiness to building an environment that allows for interaction, but it is crafted in a way that makes it feel a little bit more natural. What I mean by that is when you look at some of these places, for instance, like the Lakers, right? They're not prompting everybody every 5 seconds, and those people are sitting down. You know why? Because they know when to rise up and cheer, and they know when to just chill and just watch the game, right?
I think they're too laid back.
They might
historically,
but that is the LA way, right? Like that is the LA way.
And I think the players don't like it. If you go back and you talk to Laker players in the past, they don't like that.
Okay.
They think the fans are too laid back.
Okay.
So
how about this?
It's an issue.
Okay. How about this then? Okay. I will use one that I have personally grown to know and love and be a part of myself, which is the greatest university in all of the land, the University of Arizona. For basketball games, all right, we have an older demographic in those crowds, and sometimes it has been a problem in the past, whatever. But those are the most educated fans to me in the entire country because they know exactly when they're supposed to get loud because they can feel it. Like there's a feel in the arena that you have when your team is maybe starting to struggle a little bit and you need to pick them up, and they'll stand up, they'll cheer. They don't need to be prompted.
Well, what about to get them started? Forget about when they're playing well and they're struggling. What about an exciting environment? Look, you show up to a game. All right, hold it. You just talked about this, okay? So you've been a little hypocritical. Like, you show up in a game. To go to a game, a lot of these fans are excited. One.
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to dress the part. Two.
Yes.
Right? They're going to support their favorite team. Three. And they want to leave the game happy. Four. Okay, fine. So you got a job, fan. Like, you got a job too. Your job is to show support, act like you're supportive, and show energy. Like, and a lot of fans don't do that. Matter of fact, again, as I told you, a lot of fans in the concourse while the game going on. It's a lot of places I play, nobody in the concourse.
True.
No one's in the concourse. So my point is, do your part. And then now you've earned the right to be critical.
But again, we're not talking about like long stretches here. We're talking about like, you know, you're sitting there, you're watching your team play, you just cheered, you sat down. Maybe the other team goes on like a 4 or 6, 6-point run. And then you kind of feel like the game might be slipping and going, the momentum's going in the other direction. You organically can feel it in the arena. You stand up, you cheer to get your team going.
They don't
again,
play
right?
music then.
Like,
they don't play music then. They don't. I'm calling the game.
They will literally say, no, stand up, get on your feet. Blah, blah, blah,
that's doing a timeout. No, hold up. No, that's doing a timeout because they want to keep the energy going. But no, when Devin got hot last year, KD get hot, you don't need. Okay, you don't need to encourage
the energy going. I need to reserve my energy too. That's why there's timeouts.
No, for 2.5 hours, bring your ass to the game and you give every ounce of energy you got until you leave. I want you sweating. I don't want you drunk. I want you sweating. I want you. So yeah, it is your job. It's your job as a fan to show up and do what you need to do.
Energy to do this all
I
night
do it.
long.
I do it. I'm telling you, if you put a camera on me watching a Bears game, my wife will tell you I'm a crazed animal. Okay, I'm up like this, like I'm the quarterback. Come on, man. Come on. I'm into it, man. Look, because I feel like my energy is going to be helpful. You show up to a game, bring your behind to the game. I don't want you there like you at the beach. Okay, you got your drink and you in the chair and you drinking. No. Get your butt up and show me some energy. I want you stinking when you leave the game. I want you sweating like Moses Malone. I don't want you sitting all pretty. I want every ounce of energy you got to put in that game because ultimately you want to walk away in a good mood and feel like you had a choice. Now, there's a lot of fans that do that. They'll come take their shirt off, be under the bucket. They think they're making a difference. Look at me, a guy on the free throw line. There's a lot of fans that do that. And I would love for other fans to know they come to a game, stop being cool. Come there and show your energy. Like, it's like when you go to church, right? People look at the person that gets the happy feet in church, and they start running around and they screaming and they hollering, right? For the high mighty. And that's how they view it, right? The almighty. That's how they view him, right? And people sitting in church looking at him like this. Hey, that's what they're supposed to do. Because they're coming to worship somebody that they believe has led them to a great life and watching over them. That's their part. That's how they are. And people will do that in the game too, right? And that's what I think the energy should be for fans. And then you don't have the arena pushing you to cheer, pushing you to cheer. Like, that's the problem. You got a lot of lazy fans. Let's just put it where it is. They come in there just to drink. That's you, Saul. See,
No,
I already know how you roll. You gonna be in the stand with your legs crossed.
That's not it. That's not even it. Like, I don't even. First of all, I'm not even a big drinker, so that's wrong.
Now you could be drinking Coca-Cola. I don't know what you drink.
We actually even have a comment in this.
You're
chat.
drinking and eating stuff that you probably should not be eating. That's what you're doing at the game.
I'm telling you right now, this is an actual quote, and this is actually true. There's a large portion of alcohol drinking has declined over the years, and people are less rowdy now. Maybe there's a connection there. And hello.
Yeah, and they full from eating 5 hot dogs. They don't want to get up because they've been eating
5 hot dogs unless they're doing a 9-inning challenge. All right. Here's some other comments here from people that I wanted to chime in on this. They said maybe the problem is OGs. I assume they're talking to me. Another one says Saul needs to save his energy for podcasts. And then hello says my job paid $150 to go to the game for average seats. My job is done. And then Amelia says I would love to be a fan.
Hello, goodbye. Don't need you. Don't need you. Stay at home.
Amelia said, I would love to be a fan, excited in the front row, cheering for my team, but it is too expensive. Daniel A., my wife doesn't let me drink at Suns and Cards games anymore because I get too rowdy. And, listen.
Why you got to drink to be excited? Who says you have to drink?
Have you seen some of the performance of our teams of late? Like, I mean, I can understand why somebody wants to go to the bottle a little bit.
But when they go to the game, they already know where the level of the team, right? So when fans come to
okay, never mind.
Because you want to win a game. I've supported the Cubs since 1969. They won 1 World Series in 100 years. Okay, but I'm excited every game, but because that's my team. So if you're going to be a fan, be a fan. Don't be sometimey.
The last one I will put out here, and those of you who are streaming on our platform, our other platforms, make sure you go back to gophnx.com to find the rest of this show. The last one, and this is going to be a hot debate, I feel like. The wave. The wave is the worst thing to ever be invented in a stadium. It is so egregious because, to your point, it is usually started by some rando who doesn't really care about the games and they just want to do something and they stand up and they try to get it started.
Okay.
And it'll be in the middle of maybe an important part of the game. Like it could be like the 6th inning and this is especially baseball. It's just like, why any moment somebody could crack one out of the park. Like, why am I sitting here worrying about this stupid ass wave? It's the dumbest thing in all of sports. I hate it to no end. I think it is the absolute worst. Do I sound like I'm, on my lawn and yeah, I don't care. The wave is the single worst invention from the fan base ever. I
get a message on my Apple Watch. You know what it tells me? You need to stand up. Okay? It gives me a reminder that I've been sitting too long. And it says stand up for a minute.
Yeah.
It's a health thing too. See, people don't know that. Like my 96-year-old mom, she doesn't want to get out of the bed. But yes, she can. She can walk, she can move around, but 96, she's like, bump this. I don't want to get out of bed. Okay? But I encourage her to stand up because it's healthy. Like you sitting there for 2 hours, you consuming food, okay? And and people wondering why, in America that we have an overweight problem in this country. You go to other countries, like you see people that walk to work, walk 2-3 blocks. People drive their car to the grocery store in America. They will try to park almost inside the store because they don't even want to walk 100 feet. People will drive around the parking lot. I'm not lying. They'll drive around the parking lot and you got all these spots over here and they trying to get at least closer to the store. By the time they're driving around, they could have parked their car and they could have gone in the store and they could be walking out the damn store. They still walking. They're looking for a spot. look, I love my country, okay? But we got some lazy ass people.
I'm sorry.
Okay. And so my point is, stand your butt up, stretch. What's wrong with it? Like, they never do that until probably late in the game anyway. I think it's a health thing too. Just look at it like that. You're getting some damn exercise to kind of run off all them damn hot dogs and nachos you've been eating, okay, throughout the 2 hours.
Listen, I love how you like paint this picture that everybody in the stands is just pigging out on food. First of all, unless you're all the way up in the upper deck, shout out to Matt Ishbia for $2 food. You're paying like $20 every single item of food. Nobody's spending $100 on themselves.
Food, $2.
You know. Second, I got completely distracted by what you were talking about because there was
because you know I'm telling the truth about people. There's lazy people in this country.
There's a comment in our chat by hello. This is just so out of pocket, but I'm going to read it. It says, imagine being in a wheelchair and your watch is telling you to stand up.
Oh, well, hold up. Okay. So, hello, you have a point, but it's kind of idiotic. Okay. Obviously, you cannot stand up, but I have a nephew.
Your watch doesn't know that?
I have a nephew who was a paraplegic, had a bad car accident, and now he's walking. You know why? Because
not the miracle of the stadium announcer telling him to stand up.
No, but what I'm saying is, well, it's just a mentality. It's just a mentality of people telling you always don't give up, stand your butt up. Of course, I'm not comparing the two totally, but what I'm saying is a lot of people that kept telling him to sit down. Man, like, mentally sit down. You know what? He didn't sit down. And now he swims. Now he's swimming. Okay? When they told him he'd never be able to stand up again, he's swimming. So that's it. So I think that was silly what he said. He wants to be a comedian. But, you can stand up in a way that you're not standing up, so you're doing some kind of exercise, sure. And that's what it is, right? So I'm all for it. I'm all for making fans be a part of the 2.5 hour exercise of their favorite team trying to win a game. And if it's, to me, if that arena person believes that these fans aren't engaged, then we're going to get them to say defense because the players hear it. Okay, they hear it. So fans might not think that they do have an influence on a game to a certain point. And it's always really not I don't think it bothers the opposition. Like some fans screaming at me and all that, I don't even hear them. But the home team hears you because they want to receive that, right? Mm-hmm. But the opposition, you can't bother the opposition to a high level. I'll tell fans that till I'm blue in the face. No fan ever bothered me. They enhance me with their negativity, okay? But the home team, yes, they're enhanced by it. And so I truly believe it.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, those are some of our sports icks, and a lot of them had to do with, obviously Suns games and arena stuff, but they translate to every sport for the most part. So anyway, we appreciate you all for joining us on another episode of Outside
I took
Shots.
a little quick in-show vacation with my internet, but I'm glad I got back on.
We'll be back next week on Monday at 8 a.m. once again to start your beautiful week. We hope that you have a great week. You can follow him at JumpShot8 on Twitter. You can follow me at Saul_Bookman on Twitter as well, and both of us on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And you can listen to EJ's show on Sirius NBA, the NBA Today show on Sirius Satellite Radio from 1 to 4 this afternoon.
That's right.
How about that? It only took me 3 years to get that right.
Yeah, you're still a little off balance, but it's good enough.
So until next time, folks, we love y'all. Peace.
Later.
We all silly like the mayor.